Karen Jones. She's passed away now due to pancreatic cancer. And she said she got pancreatic cancer. She got cancer, but cancer didn't get her. You might recognize it from Woody Guthrie in 1938. It's a little bit updated for today.
Well, on the backside.
It's not wrong. And that's how we do, you know. As long as it's Pinkney, it's okay. You know. But you know, God put me here so I can handle. That's right, so I can handle all that crap that they be doing.
For a reason.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, hey, you proved them wrong.
Yeah,
man. That's
yeah. And they don't like it. I saw.
You see that excuse he came up with?
Oh man, it was, you know, and then but the bad part, the health policeman had the nerve to print it. That's the bad part.
I couldn't believe it. So I used it.
Uh-huh.
They printed it, so
Yeah,
I used it.
yeah.
I know you saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
I put it right out there. Like, you want to print this guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you know it's not the truth.
No, yeah. And you printed it.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
You know, like liberals don't know anything about unemployment, etc. And then they say, first speaker. Right. And so when I said, and I'm saying, and they say, not you. I said, yes, me and my people, and everybody who doesn't have a buck. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Hey, Pink.
Go. Hey, what are you doing? I'm so glad to see you. So glad to see you. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. We're ready to go. You know that. You know that.
There with him out and saw my neighbor, and then we're going to take him. We have the water cannon they're working through there, got the revolvers. Pretty cool. At least they got 2 stripper balls. It's on a stripper ball. I remembered I had a ceiling fan. So he's going to hang out here.
Looking good.
Thank you.
You're looking good.
Yay.
We're going to have 10 more minutes, and then we're going to start our program. So when you get ready, let us know. I got my good friend George Lyons down there, and it's going down. That's right. I got Phil over there. That's right. They call him Phil, but I don't know why. He said he's my brother. So it's going down. But look, take 10 minutes to congregate, and after that, the program begins. All right. All right.
Charge! I knew I heard the words right. Charge! Charge! We're here today. Everybody gather around. I'm Minister Kuhgangah Ashe. I'm the ambassador to the United Nations in New York City for all the folks that love justice and peace. I just left New York April the 18th for the Indigenous Peoples Permanent Forum. I'm here to support my good friend, Reverend Edward Pinkney. Can we get a hand for Reverend Edward Pinkney? I came all the way from Columbus, Ohio. I've driven all night long, and I'm here to tell you that we have a great leader in our midst, and we have a great spiritual personality in our midst, and we need to celebrate that personality. Everybody gather around. We're getting ready to start. We're going to start the program. We're going to start the march. I'm going to bring Reverend Pinkney up. I'm going to play you a song. We're going to have the march. We'll blow this is an angel horn. In German it's called a Flugelhorn, but in Hebrew it's called an angel horn. El meaning God, the horn of the angels. And we're going to have a great time today. But I need you to be encouraged. I need you to put a smile on your face. Stop looking like you had a funeral. This is not a funeral. This is a celebration. And the Supreme Court of the state of Michigan said that there's not even such a law. Isn't that something? Six to nothing. So let's put our hands together first of all with a big round of applause for Reverend Edward Pinkney and his wife. I'm gonna play you a song just to get you in the mood. I want you to be able to move your feet and tap your hands and sing along. Everybody knows this old song. It's an old song of the church. It's "Oh, when the saints go marching in." That's what we're going to do. You're the saints because you're standing up for justice. You're standing up for equality. You're standing up for God Almighty. You are the saints. And you're getting ready to go marching in. Now, you don't have to wait until you die to go marching into glory. We're going there too. But we're going to go marching in today. Here we go. And you can sing along. Marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. Oh, when we march around the throne, around the throne. Oh, when we march around the throne. Move your feet. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number when we march around the throne. Oh, when the saints, one more time. When the saints go, I can't hear you. Go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. I give you the honor distinguished, the sophisticated, the glorified, the sanctified, the justified Reverend Edward Pinkney. Let's hear
I am so excited to see everybody today. Hey, give yourself a hand. Come on, let's give it up. I tell you, this mass demonstration is called Occupy the PGA to save our children. Whirlpool Corporation used profit and wealth to control our community and destroy our schools and children. Somebody is hurting our people and creating child poverty and systematic racism. We got to end this stuff. We got to stop it. I have fought 1,000 battles and still standing. I have cried 1,000 tears and I'm still standing. I have been broken. I have been betrayed, abandoned, rejected, but I'm still standing. I still walk proud. I still walk proud. I still walk proud. I laugh out loud. I live without fear. I love without a doubt. I love you people. I love you people because I wouldn't do what I do. Me and my wife could both ride off to the sunset. We don't have to be here. We don't have to be around you. But you gotta stand up and fight back. Can we fight back? Can we fight back? Can we fight back? You see, I was put on trial on my birthday, October the 27th. The all-white jury came back with a guilty verdict with absolutely no evidence. There was no such charge. Matter of fact, I told my attorneys, they didn't even know there was no such charge. I had to tell them that there was no such charge. You see, they could have charged me with a misdemeanor, but they wanted to go for the big time. They wanted to send Reverend Pinkney to prison. And they were thinking he would never be back. See, they thought that they had buried me. You see, when you bury somebody, you don't expect them to come back again. So they thought they had put me 6 feet under. But they didn't bury me. They only planted me. And when you plant somebody, you expect them to rise again. I have risen. I have risen. I have risen. I have risen. And this is just the beginning, because there's strength and power in numbers. We got to start running and hanging and fighting together. My thing is, fight back.
Right now.
Fight back.
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 Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. On that, I want to bring up my good friend from Chicago, the man of the hour, my friend Dave. Come on up here, Dave, and tell us what you know.
Oh. Take this off here. No, don't take it. Okay. Just leave it on there. Don't touch the mic. Okay, we good? Yeah, we'll toss feedback. First, let's give Reverend Pinkney another round of applause. My name is David Lowery Jr. I'm going to give you a little background about me. I've been 2-time president of the NAACP. I was Al Sharpton National Crisis Director when Johnny Cochran was living. And currently, I'm the president and CEO of an organization called Living and Driving While Black. Living conditions and driving conditions are the worst for black people on the face of this planet. But what I'm going to talk about right now has nothing to do with black or white. I'm talking about good versus evil. See,
we in our carnal minds continue to think that the color of a man's skin dictate who they are. But in the eyes of God, we're all his children. And what we see today right now, what happened to Reverend Pinkney was an injustice that was done that all of us across the country should be standing up to fight back. See, what we don't understand, like Reverend say, it's strength in numbers. If we all got together, no matter what color we are, injustice is injustice. And until we decide that we as the people started to organize ourselves, no matter whether you white, black, green, or what, things are never going to change. And that's why I'm so happy to be out here with Rev today. Rev said, well, I done drove over 1,000 miles to get back here to be in Benton Harbor today. I grew up here partly in Benton Harbor, growing up in Chicago. I got two uncles that live here, James Lowery, Buster Lowery. Those are my uncles. And I used to come to Benton Harbor when Benton Harbor was a thriving industrial town. Companies was here, whirlpools was here, it was different jobs. A black man or white man could quit a job one day and go get another one on the same day. Those economics created Benton Harbor. But after a while, when things start to change, and the company started to pull out of Benton Harbor, they made this a desolate area. No other companies came. The new service was putting people, not only black people, but white people too, in jail.
That's right.
So as we stand here today, we know what's going on. We know what happened to Reverend Pinkney was an injustice. But I'm here to tell you today, if we don't stand up together right now, as Americans, because see, it's this simple. When you know that you have an enemy, then you know how to deal with that enemy. And when Donald Trump was elected to the presidency, we knew that he was an enemy. Not to just black people, but people who wouldn't side with him or those who wanted to go along with the program. So he was a blessing in disguise, because that's why all of us is here today. Because not only is the economics gone in this town, but the economics across this country is over. So just like Reverend said, and I ain't gonna stay too long because I get all hyped up and stuff. I'm up here for the people. I'm up here for my children and your children. I'm 60 years old. And a lot of people say, well, you get 60, you start going the other way. I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out here for these kids that's walking around here, they don't understand what real racism is. Because they thought that when we came through in the 70s, we got comfortable. We quit fighting. In the 60s, when all the politicians and white folks, black folks stuck together to bring equality, then when we was able to move to a different zip code, we lost the fight. And I apologize to these kids because it was my generation that went to sleep on this watch and didn't make the change. But God is good. He said he will raise people up out of stones. And what he's doing right now, he raising us up. He not worried if you black, white, green, or what. We all God's children. And until we realize that, and until we stand on what we stand on, we're going to keep getting the killings. We're going to keep finding our children in the lake. We're going to keep on being beaten and killed by the police. But you know what? God loves children who has their own. Now let's look at this, and I'm going to be through. Benton Harbor has no economic development. All the monies in these communities are going everywhere else. And I have to say this. Black people are the biggest consumers on the face of this planet. We spend billions of dollars every holiday, and we don't own nothing. So it's time that we rally around people like Rev. We start looking at other ways to create economic wealth in this city, because it ain't always got to be a job. It's a such thing called an entrepreneur. I was 15 years old. I graduated out of high school. I bought my first business in Davenport, Iowa at 17 years old. I retired at 40. And a lot of my friends that went to college still paying college loans. So it's not all about having a job. It's about understanding your circumstances and finding something to do to take care of your family. So I'm here today to tell y'all folks, the Living and Driving While Black Foundation is here to support Reverend Pinkney. We're here to support Benton Harbor, Michigan. We support Chicago. We support New York. We support Detroit. Everywhere in this country, this organization will stand up and fight. We will definitely file lawsuits and do what we got to do. But the most important thing that we have to do right now is we can't give up on our kids. We can't give up on the brothers and sisters who they call gangbangers, because that's our army. We're the only people that don't have an army. We need to understand this. We need to embrace our children. We need to embrace these brothers out here talking about they GDs, vice lords. Y'all black men. Y'all got the same problem that we got in Chicago. And the Lords, the Stones, and the Disciples have decided to come together. I got a radio show called Let the Truth Be Told every Saturday at 10 o'clock, but I ain't doing the show because I'm out here. And I'm saying it to say this. If our brothers in the streets can come together, which we are doing right now, and if we can get the educated brothers too, because we can't fight this battle alone, because the army can fight, but it'll be a lot of death, and that's what we don't want. This war is already won. We just have to organize our people. We have to get those educated ones. We got to get those brothers you call gangbangers. We got to get the poor people. We got to get the people that's working these jobs. We have to organize ourselves right now. Because if we don't, tomorrow is not promised. And we will be too late. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Hey, let's give him another hand. I just got a report that Sheriff Bailey was watching us. He needs to be watching his deputies over at the courthouse. They've been molesting women, and nobody go to jail. Nobody go to jail whenever the sheriff department do anything wrong. They was out here planting drugs on people. They are responsible for Collins. Collins did not know how to make a false report till he started hanging out with Sergeant Boyce from the sheriff department. He told them exactly what to do and told them how to get a false warrant. And they put drugs on over 300 men here in the city of Benton Harbor. But they have molested or touched over 20 women, and nobody go to jail. One guy was even on what they call that back page. He was on back page trying to find him someone to have sex with him. He found him someone to have sex with him, and he had sex with the person with his gun on his side and his vest on, his bulletproof vest, and he went and had sex. That's the police department here in Barron County. That's the police department. But we keep giving them a free pass because people don't come together and stand up for what is right. Now at this time, I want to bring in my very, very good friend, LaDonna. She got a story to tell. Let's give her a hand because she got something to say.
Hello, everybody. I would like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting Reverend Pinkney and all of us. I'm a little emotional, but I would like to say hello to the Barron County Sheriff Department. I hope all is well because my son is dead. He died in your custody. You treated my family like we were nothing. My son had a 2-year-old son that he loved unconditionally. You closed my son's case without looking at my second autopsy because the PGA was here. You didn't want the...
Take your time, man. Take your time.
That's wrong. My son had blunt force trauma to the torso. He had a back contusion. He had methanol, ethanol, acetone, isoploral in his system. But that was okay because the dosage was low, under 10 or 5. I've been doing some research. There is no reason my son should have had those chemicals in his body. I also found out that Berrien County had hired people that was working on their jail staff that wasn't licensed or registered. Why is that? Why aren't these people in the police report? Why weren't they in the investigation? They were never even mentioned once. I have video of a lady handing my son medication that was not put on paper what she gave him. I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm confused. I don't blame the whole Berrien County, but I do blame the Sheriff's Department because y'all supposed to protect and serve. Y'all protect and serve who y'all want to protect and serve. What about my baby, Martell DeCarlos Hadley? I'm here to protect and serve him right now. And I'll be riding all night so you can pull me over and harass me for nothing. I will not stop fighting for my son. And I will not give up ever. And I just want to say thank y'all for showing up.
Rest up, Martell. Welcome.
At this time, we're going to be supporting LaDonna Walker. We're going to let the Sheriff Department know that we're not taking this mess no more. It's all over for them. We're going to hold them accountable for their action and their inaction. See, a lot of times we'll let them slide because they're law enforcement. People are intimidated by law enforcement, but I am not intimidated by Berrien County, law enforcement. Whatever they got, we stand to fight back. At this time, we're going to let the balloon go for Martell Hadley and his family. God bless you. All right. All right. This is only the beginning. And now I want to bring up my good friend, Miss Johnson. How do you pronounce your first name, Miss Johnson? Ayanna Johnson. We love her, and she also has a story to tell. Let's give her a hand. Come on, let's give it up.
God bless you all. Thank you for being here. My son was killed October 18, 2016 by Benton Harbor police. He was riding a 20-inch Huffy bike. My son is 6'2", 250 to 70 pounds. And they said he was riding a bike and shooting 2 guns at them like a cowboy. Anybody that knows my son knows that that is not him. My son taught children here. He was a Taekwondo instructor. He walked to the schools to teach the children. He met the children in the parks on Saturdays who couldn't afford classes and taught them for free. For children whose father weren't around, he watched them. He went to their houses. He listened to their moms on Facebook as they got in trouble in school. He went to their homes. He brought them to the park. He made them do push-ups. He made them do sentences. He explained why education is important. He explained why listening to your parents is important. And he explained that his mother didn't play that. My son graduated. He didn't have a criminal record. And he had no gun residue on his hands to be shooting at the Benton Harbor police. So no, I don't understand. The first person to call me and tell me that my son was dead, the very next day, their house was burned down. They've threatened other people to not say things. They have told me, Ayanna, I am afraid. Our community wanted to riot, but that is not something that my son would have stood for. So I stopped our children from rioting, and I told them to go home because I wanted no one's mother to feel the way I did. I did not know what happened, so I wasn't trying to accuse anybody until I knew for myself. But I knew they was lying about my baby. So there are a lot of people that know that are afraid to come forward. I ask that you do. And for them to say that my son was shooting at them is not true. There was an officer that was on duty, not on duty, I'm sorry, but was at the location, and they put that man in a squad car and got him away from the scene. The officer that shot my son was a rookie cop. He was a fireman. Now, what I did notice is when they train police officers to be firemen, they watch houses burn. But when they train firemen to be police officers, they kill our children.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is bigger than me. It's bigger than my son. It's bigger than LaDonna because it's been going on. So if we don't stand, we lose.
Yes.
I love our children. Every year I try to do something that my son would do. I go to the park, I buy popsicles, I give them to the kids. I have a picnic. I feed them for free. I just ask the parents come out and they play with them and spend time with them in fellowship. We are a village. I grew up in a village. We are nothing without each other.
That's right.
That's right.
And I have been practicing and preaching, and that is something that I taught my son. So I tell you, Benton Harbor, Berrien County, you must do better. And I'm never giving up on justice for my son.
Right.
And I will tell y'all, you got the wrong kid, but you got the right mama.
All right.
All right. That's what we talking about.
And I am karate today and every day.
Yeah.
And I am every other child, and I am every other parent. So utilize me. I am here to help. We are nothing without each other. God bless y'all. And we coming, Berrien County.
Amen.
All right now. Let's hear it. I am karate. 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 All right, let's give it up for karate. Let's give it up for LaDonna. Let's give it up for Miss Johnson. We got to stand with them.
Yeah.
We can no longer accept this stuff that's going on today. Everything they do is justifiable homicide. If you accidentally hang yourself, it's justifiable homicide. If they shoot you and claim you have residue on your hand, it's justifiable homicide. We got to change and hold these people accountable for their action. Can we do that?
We can do it.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do it?
We can do it.
All right. I want to have Ralph Poynter come up and speak for a second, and then we're going to get ready to do our walk. And we're going to start off going that way. And we're going to have the balloons all together so they'll know. Let me bring in my good friend Ralph.
The people united
will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. All right, first let me say that there is water down in the front. And when I went to get the water, the young woman behind the counter, to help yourself, it's free. We need water on a day like this. And the woman behind the counter looked at me and said, you're not from here. And I says, well, no, I'm not from here. And she says, where are you from? And I says, I'm from New York City. And she says, what are you doing here today? And I says, well, I've come to support Reverend Pinkney. And that brings me to why I'm here. I'm here to let you know that everybody knows, because her answer was, it's time somebody is doing something. I am glad Reverend Pinkney is doing something, and I am glad people from around this country have come to support Reverend Pinkney doing something, because we know we need help. But I'm here to tell you, as Reverend Pinkney and everybody here has already told you, you got all the help you need. Because I got in this movement in 1957. That was my first year of teaching school. Because I realized that more powerful than the atomic bomb or any other bomb is the brain power in our children. The problem with that is we don't control them. We don't control the schools. We don't control the budget. And as Reverend Pinkney said, for a moment, because he knows I'm long-winded, I could stand here for an hour and tell you things that you do not know that are very basic to your life. So what must we do to harness this power? We must fight to control our education department, not only for subject matter, but for budget. Because if you control the budget, you control everything else. And as Fidel Castro proved, a country that had nothing but people, they became the first country in the world to export education. They exported education to the Congo. They exported hospitals. They tried to export doctors to the United States when they had Katrina and other catastrophes. And the people who stopped them were the American government. And so, two questions I have for everyone here. What makes us think that we are different than the indigenous people who were here first? What makes us think we are different than the Palestinians? What makes us think that we cannot be as the Cubans are? That is to develop our own community in spite of the rest of the world. To have the most educated youth on the planet. And I'm listening to Reverend Pinkney, and I'm seeing the crowds here. And as I walk around, people are saying, it's about time somebody is doing something. You know Reverend Pinkney is doing something. Let us support Reverend Pinkney, who supports the education of our children. And I look to the day when they say Benton Harbor is educating, is exporting educated youth to the rest of this country so that we can stop places like Flint, Michigan, so that we can stop the destruction of water, so that we can stop the destruction of decent government, so that we can have a society for all. And so, in conclusion, let us support Reverend Pinkney. Let us support the people here, because you are on the right path. And I want to look to the day when I can say, I was there in Benton Harbor when the movement continued to have the best educated youth in the country. And let's export some of these young people. Let's export that energy. Let's export young teachers with philosophies and education that this country has never had. Continue, Reverend Pinkney. Love being here with you. Love being here with all of you. And I look forward to better times, because the root of better times is here, and it is now.
All right, that was my main man from New York City.
All right.
Came all the way here to be with you.
Yeah.
To be with Miss Johnson.
Yeah.
To be with LaDonna.
Yeah.
And to be with each and every one of you.
Yes.
We got to police our own community.
That's right.
We got to stop letting other people come in and police our community.
That's right.
And look, I believe that we have to take this thing to a whole different level. I'm excited today.
Yes.
But I'm also excited to bring in my good friend, my guy, Attorney George Lyons. Let's give him a hand.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. I want to say good morning, church. And I want to say to Reverend that this morning when I got up and got ready to leave, and my wife said, we're getting ready for our open house for our son at his high school diploma. Where are you going? We've got 6 guests in the house, and the house is crazy. I said, well, I'm going to Benton Harbor. She said, no, you're not. She said, wait a minute, is it Reverend Pinkney? I said, yeah, she said, well, go ahead.
That's right. That's right.
22 years I've practiced law. Reverend Pinkney has pulled me up here a number of times, and we have drained the swamp a little bit. But here's what I want to talk to you guys about very seriously, because my heart's been breaking down there listening to mothers who had to bury their children. And no mother should ever have to bury a child. The rights that are enumerated in our Constitution don't have to be earned by you. You don't have to ask for your rights. The rights are guaranteed. You can walk while you're black. You can drive while you're black. You can sell cigarettes while you're black. If you're an 11-year-old kid, you can play with a BB gun on a corner and not be shot down when you're black. We have the right to demand those rights. We don't have to go begging. We haven't got to go hat in hand. Reverend wanted me to tell you some pointers about your rights. I teach as well. I don't need it. I teach as well at Spring Arbor University. And the first thing I tell my students is that understand that the Fourth Amendment says this: you, in your body, in your home, in your cars, have a right to be free from intrusion by the government. And a badge and a blue uniform does not give them permission to do that.
Right.
And let me give you an example. And I talked to my young brothers about this. When an officer stops you and he says, do you mind if I search your car?
No.
What do you say? No. When he pulls you out of the car, and don't fight him, call me if he does that. And he says, do you mind if you empty your pockets here on the hood of the car? You know what you say?
No. I mind.
Say no, because he's asking you permission to do an unconstitutional search.
You hear that? Pay attention.
My young black brothers, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Don't run. All right? The fight against law enforcement isn't on the streets. It's in the courts. Reverend Pinkney said this to me right before we hit Benton County for $5.5 million 2 years ago. He said, don't hit him in the head, hit him in the bank account.
That's right, that's right.
Because that's what they listen to. And to my young brothers, listen to me, I'm a high school dropout. I have a GED. I've been told at every step along the way that I can't do it. Because you're black. Because you stutter. Because your parents didn't make a lot of money. But let me tell you this. Each and every African American kid that I see here, you are the descendants of kings and queens and pharaohs. You created the world 200 years before America was even here.
Right.
You founded mathematics, chemistry, and biology.
Right.
I want you to always remember that. Reach back. Rely on the history that lives in your genes.
That's right.
Okay? Be proud, be black. Never, ever walk away from that blackness. God bless all you guys.
All right, you heard that, didn't you? Listen, we're getting ready to do this walk. It's a death walk. And we're gonna do it in silence. Thank you. Nobody talking. Single file line. And we're gonna have our little casket. I need 4 people to carry the caskets. Anybody can volunteer that's here. Women, men, I don't care. If you want to be part of it, you'll be a full part of it. But before we get started, we want to hear from Commissioner Henry. And we got Commissioner Mays from Flint, Michigan here. Let's give him a hand. He's a real soldier. He's my brother also. So let's hear from Juanita. And let's get ready. I need 4 people to carry the casket.
Hello, my people. I am so glad to be here. I want to make a big statement, and I want everyone to listen. The prize that the PGA winner will get is $3 million.
That's my money they get. What?
And the money that is donated to the city of Benton Harbor is $2,200. And that is one reason why I'm here, and I may be the only commissioner elected official out of 9 that's here, but I believe that power to the people. And that's the only way that we're going to is we bind together. So thank you for coming. When I see the unfamiliar faces, it really hurts me, but I know the plight my citizens go through every day. So I appreciate you coming to support my citizens and the city of Benton Harbor. Thank you. But do the numbers. $3,002,200. Thank you. Thank you again.
All right, listen now. This is it.
Sheriff Department over there.
The way they sit. Oh, wow.
Do you see them? Do you see them?
Yep.
Awesome.
You know, it's terrible. This is just, we always say, like, when we were playing Tyler, like,
I think so. It's Iron Karate.
Okay. Just look for that and I'll find it.
Yeah, I don't. She's coming back to me. She's going to come back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
you know how much money they paying these officers to do that? Overtime. Cameras that they don't even wear. Clearly.
Oh no, if they wore them, they'd be in trouble.
Gotta stand for something. Gotta stand for something. Somebody needs to show them something.
How about the been on edge since August 10th, 2017?
Like sincere care about what
I know. We are truly blessed.
we're following up.